Hey guys, I'm back with video number 5 of my Honda Nighthawk Bobber project. Last video was from September. It's where I showed it being started and running with the new pod filters and jet kit. Ran really good. The problem I had was a few times later I tried to start, it wouldn't start. And I noticed there was some red liquid seeping from the carburetors, and I knew right then it was the red coat. In my earlier videos, I said that I was going to use red coat on the inside of the tank, which I did, and I followed the instructions to the T, and still it broke down. I had problems with it. I think it was too thick. I probably could have thinned it out a little bit. Maybe it was an older quart red coat. I'd been sitting on the shelf or whatever. It seemed a little thick, but I went with it anyway, and I sloshed it around the tank for a good 40 minutes trying to make sure it was all covered behind the baffles and everything. And then I let it dry for over 2 weeks. It sat in this garage without it being touched. I mean, one of the major failures that people have with red coat is they put gas in too soon before it's dry. But I didn't do that. I mean, I let it sit in the garage for over 2 weeks, and it still, you know, it broke down. It must have been a puddle somewhere that was never completely dry. But again, it broke down on me. So what I had to do was I had to take some acetone and get rid of it, you know, get it out of the inside of the tank, which in turn ruined the paint that I had on one of the previous videos. There's just no way to get that out of the inside of the tank without ruining the paint with acetone. It goes everywhere. So needless to say, I had to resand and paint the tank. This time I went with just a flat black, which is what I wanted anyway. I mean, I'm really happy. I mean, this is just flat black out of a spray can, but it's nice. I mean, that's the color I wanted. It matches everything. It matches my headlight. It's all the same color now, which is what I wanted. So, I mean, it's just a setback, but life goes on. I don't recommend red coat. Again, I probably could have thinned it out, but still, it was a pain in the ass, and I'll never use it again. Some of the other things I've been working on is, again, with wiring. I got these turn signals. I may have showed them on the earlier videos, but I mounted the front ones on either side of the headlight. And for the longest time, I didn't know where to put the rears. I was kind of waiting until I got my license plate frame and tail light. But I was going to spend 50 bucks on the license plate frame and tail light, but I thought I could make it myself. So that's what I did the last 2 days. Here it is. I made this out of aluminum. Got this tail light, same tail light they use typically on all these. I got it upside down, so the reverse light, the license plate light shows up to the license plate. This is where the license plate would go. Made out of aluminum so I could work with it and cut it, be more user friendly. And then I just reinforced it with these L-shaped brackets. You might be able to see them, I don't know. But it's sturdy, it's not going anywhere. And I just mounted it to the strut bolts. So then I figured out where to put my rear turn signals. I put them vertical right there where I cut the frame off. I thought that was a perfect place. It's cool, it's different, straight down on either side. What I did was I drilled a hole straight up. Then I figured there's no way I can get that nut on the end of that bolt with that much space. So what I did, I just cut a little notch out. I don't know if you can see it here. I cut a little notch out right there. That way I went in and put the bolt nut on the bolt and just slid it right in and just tightened it down that way. And the wiring goes straight through. There's an open spot on the other side. And the wires just come right out. Come right out here. It's perfect. So I saved 50 bucks on this thing right here, making it myself. I spent like 8 bucks on the light. Pretty happy with myself. I made this little fake license plate. That's where it would go. That way I kind of guided myself on how big to make it. It's going to be perfect. So that's a pretty big step here. Got those two done. Got it all wired up. I still don't have anything for my seat here. I got to do something with that. I don't know what I want to do yet. Something. So that's one thing I still got to do. Still have my, this mess of wires. As you can see, big improvement on the wires here. There used to be like wires hanging from each grip from each side. But all that's been rectified. I got it all figured out what it is, where it goes, what it does. Got it in heat shrink. You can see it. Got it in heat shrink. It looks factory. I mean, from the front, you can't tell this isn't factory. It's all heat shrinked in, nice and tight, up under the tank, and the little clips where they go, where wires go to be protected. Here's my horn wire. I don't have a horn yet, but when I do, it's ready to go. Everything else is wired up. Grounds for my turn signals up front, my headlight. And again, no wires on the side here. Looks good, looks clean. I like that paint. It was so simple. So I don't know how it's gonna last, but you know, I could probably shoot it with like a flat clear coat to protect it, but oh well. No other change to the front. And then my wiring here, again, I'm routing everything to this central point here. That's where it's all going. The turn signals from the rear, all the lights, everything from the front comes right here. And some people are still tackling wiring for the first time, have questions. I've talked about it a little bit, but basically what I did is I got my shop manual. It showed my wiring diagram. I figured out what everything is, where it goes, what it does, and went from there. I mean, some things you gotta keep, like this, electronic ignition, your rectifier. You gotta have those things. Your turn signal relay. This tells the turn signals to flash versus just sit still, you know, steady on. So I had to keep those things. What I did do is I got a new fuse box. I got rid of that old fuse panel. And it's still kind of messed up. I'm gonna, once I get the container I'm putting this stuff in, the box or whatever, it's all gonna be gone through again, heat shrinked and soldered together correctly. Right now it's still just kind of a nest here, but so basically, if you take your standard ignition, this is stock on the bike, which I will replace. It's a little too big for my needs. It's something simple I need. You got your red and black. Your black is switched power, so that would go to the fuse block. This feeds this fuse block. This black, I don't know if you can see it. The black from the ignition goes to feed the fuse block. And to this fuse block, I've got my lights, I've got my starter button, all this stuff, all comes to here. If it doesn't go to here, it goes to here. And even these get powered by this. So you just got to figure it out. And then the red is the constant power. It goes to your starter solenoid, which again, this is one of the things you got to have. So the three main components for starting is the starter solenoid, the rectifier, and your electronic ignition. And then the other things, again, this, and then your fuse box. Everything else is gone. I mean, here are some of the wires that I've gotten rid of. I mean, it's a lot of stuff that you don't need. Like, on this bike, there was a big instrument cluster up front. Now I just got this little drag specialist speedometer. It only takes 2 wires. I mean, so that's a lot of that wire that you don't even need. And then I got this right here, which I got to get rid of. This went to the, tells you what gear you're in. It goes to the clutch thing here. So I got to cut that off and heat shrink it up out of the way. It's not needed anymore. But that's pretty much it. I mean, it's still progress. I'll turn it on the light so you can see some of the tail light. Again, I got the license plate light up here, so it shows light on the license plate. Here it is with the brake engaged. I'm blocking it. Everything's functional. Here's my left turn signal. My speedometer is lit up. I got my left turn signal, my lights, high, low. Go to my left, right on me. Everything's functional. But like I say, just if you're tackling this stuff, just get your shop manual, figure out where it is, what it is, where it goes, if you need it, if you don't need it. And it's trial and error. If you take it off and it doesn't start, put it back on, it does start, you need it. I mean, stuff like that. It's pretty simple. But, so again, it's about 90, I would say 95% done. I'm still gonna do this exhaust. I'm gonna take these off, polish these, probably wrap these in black exhaust tape, maybe extend these out a little bit, about 4 inches, maybe some chrome tips or something, I don't know. But there she is. I'll see you next time. Thanks.